It was good. Facebook, YouTube. I'm sorry that the show is kind of janky, but hopefully you can hear me. I don't know what's going on. Um, Maybe I'm downloading some stuff in the background. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this, but um, let me test this out. Make sure I can hear. All right. So the show is going to be a little laggy, um, but I'm gonna just go ahead and get this off my chest while I can. Hey, what's up, RGB? BRG, I'm sorry. Okay, so the title of this stream is Let's Have an Uncomfortable Conversation. Okay? Because we have to deal with it, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. That's why it's uncomfortable. Now, y'all might know me from Fred Wide, one of the personalities of the Gamer Show. And the reason why we switched our format up on the Gamer Show is because of this reason right here. Because people think that gamers are just like Cheetos eaters and we sit in our mother basements in our drawers and that's all we do. They don't recognize that we have lives and we go through situations other than that. So that's why when you tune into the episodes of the Game Show, you may get a game review or you may get a rant like the one that you're getting now. But let's talk about this conversation, right? We're gonna talk about cops, and in the description you will see the stuff that we're talking about. And if anybody gets offended, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's talk about police officers and let's talk about why black people don't value their own kind, right? Let's first start talking about what happened, the tragic death of young man, Mr. Nichols, that was savagely beaten by 5 black officers. Not only was it 5 black officers, there were other people that was involved in a crime like this gentleman that you see on screen now. Person Hemphill, whatever the hell his name is. And the saddest part about this is that you have a police chief that's in Memphis that is black. She goes by the name of C.J. Davis. Make sure I spelled that right. Yeah, I spelled it right. Now, this is a black police chief, right? And when they initially had killed Mr. Nichols, there was always this guy, Hemphill, that was person, whatever his name is. He was always in the equation of being charged, right? But this, y'all can see, that's why I keep hitting on this thing about racism. It's because these black officers was charged and pushed in front of the media right away. This guy right here wasn't officially charged. Well, he was, but he was suspended, and it was hush-hush. He was suspended, and then he was charged. He wasn't put on Front Street like the rest of the black officers. Now, I'm not defending them jerks. Not at all. I'm not defending them at all. They deserve to be locked up. They deserve to be in public, public whatever it is, population, they deserve whatever comes to them. Whatever they get, they deserve that. But you have to look at the bigger picture at that. This man, Preston, whatever the hell his name is, he wasn't charged like the other black officers were immediately. Right? And this is by the doing of C.J. Davis, a black chief of police in Memphis, right? Hey, y'all see where I'm going with this? And the police all over the world, right? Not only in Memphis, PG County, D.C., Washington, D.C., you know, the areas I'm from, especially Virginia, West Virginia being the most racist part of town of the policing ever, right? Police have these things called body cameras that they wear. Police, when they interact with people, these body cameras record their footage. Knowingly, they know that the footage is being recorded. Therefore, when they commit such of a heinous act against the public, it's recorded, and they know it's recorded. But they felt so entitled to do this on camera. Why is that? Why would they savagely beat a man, whether he's black or white? Why would they savagely beat this man on camera and not give a shit about it? Now, digging a little bit more, that Scorpion Squad had multiple complaints on them that C.J. Davis did not do anything about. And now we have a killing of Mr. Nichols, which is the next hashtag from George Floyd, which there will be another hashtag after Mr. Nichols. I predicted this when they murdered George Floyd. We don't say allegedly here because it's on camera. I don't say they allegedly killed. Hell no. I don't say that. I say they killed, not allegedly, because it's on camera. The same way that if I would go inside of a 7-Eleven and steal a pack of gum and they call the police on me, that footage is on camera. I cannot say, okay, y'all saw the footage, but I allegedly stole that piece of gum. They will lock my ass up right then and there. I'm already found guilty. I have to find a public defender or a shiesty lawyer to get me out of that jam. And another thing that I want to hop on is that when police see black and brown people, they group them together. They group us together. They group us in one small pile and say, this is how black people act. This is how brown people act. They are savages. They do this, they do that, they do all this other stuff. When we talk about the police, we always have to start off with, well, they're not all bad. Just a few. That's what we have to start off with when we start talking about the police. And when they do something like kill us on camera, we have to start off the sentence with, not all police are bad. So police want to be known as individuals. yet they treat black and brown people as a group. This behavior is so acceptable because the government does not get involved, and when they do try to get involved, you have these racist ass Republicans that try to interfere with it. Defund the police. Let me explain to you idiots again what the fuck defunding the police mean. Defunding the police does not mean they are abolishing, yes, I know big words. That doesn't mean that they are abolishing the police departments, because we do need them. When you say defund the police, they're talking about moving funds to another department that can handle situations that the police are just not equipped for. Police take a dangerous job, and I have to give my hats off to them, because I'm not sticking my neck out for nobody but myself and mine. When it comes down to it, that's all this is important. I'm not sticking my neck out. That's their job. That's what they signed up for. So you mean to tell me that we have thousands of videos of police officers whipping our ass and there's nothing wrong with it? Mind you, that police evolved from slave catchers. That's how police departments started. Police departments started off as slave catchers. That's a Black History moment for your ass. That's what they started out as slave catchers. Hasn't much changed since they formed, and I believe that was South Carolina. You got to be kidding me with you people that think that police, there's nothing wrong with how the way that the police conduct themselves. Yet again, when we see shit on tape, it's got to be, well, all police aren't like that. It's just a few. It should not be that. You carry a huge responsibility when you become a police officer. When you become a police officer, it does not give you the right to go fuck people up. Being a police officer does not give you the right to go out and kill people. And I'm talking about brown and black people. Because for every fucking video I see of a police officer, whether they be black or white, killing or doing the most when it comes to interacting with African Americans, you can find more video of them de-escalating situations when it comes to our white brothers. And I'm not hopping on the I don't like white people shit, because that's not true. I like everybody until you give me a reason not to fuck with you. I don't care if you're black, white, green, brown, purple, alien, dog, cat. If you give me a reason not to fuck with you, then I don't fuck with you. If you're a black guy and I defriend you, I don't measure that with every black other friend that I have. If you're white, I don't do the same either. I have white people that watch this show, and I don't discount them worth anything. If you watch the Gamer Show, then you know how the personality is with me. You got two personalities on the Gamer Show. You know how my personality is. See, I say things that people want to say, but are so afraid to say, especially on YouTube and on Facebook because they're scared to get demonetized and all that other stuff. But the shit has to stop. And I get animated and I get frustrated when I talk about this shit, right? So again, for you idiots, defunding the police means that it's taking funds that would regularly go to the police. They will put that in other departments or other entities that can handle the situation. There's no need for a police officer to go to a scene where there is a mentally challenged patient and they don't know how to deal with them other than tase them and put them in handcuffs and throw them in the backseat of the car. Police officers. Now, I'll mention where I'm from, the DMV area. That means Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Virginia. Again, when we talk about police officers, we have to say not all of them are bad, which is a true statement. Not all black people are criminals, which is a true statement. Not all black officers are bad, which is a true statement. Not all white officers are bad. That's a true statement. I have friends that's in law enforcement. And it doesn't go out to them. And they still watch me. I don't know if they watch this particular show, but I have friends that are officers that work at night and they look at the show, especially like when I stream gameplay, and sometimes they look at this stuff too. They don't get offended. You know why? Because I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you officers that go out there and brutalize and kill people for no fucking reason other than you want to show that you got the biggest dick on the force. And when they talk about police, they say police are policing the neighborhoods. That's a fucking lie. Show me a police officer that lives in Berry Farms that polices in Berry Farms. Show me a police that used to live in Park 16 that policed in Park 16. Butternut, Concord, Clifton Terrace. Show me a police officer that lived in those neighborhoods, that policed them neighborhoods, other than walking outside getting ready to go to work. If you want the narrative to be that blue lives matter, and you only say that shit when you see an officer kill another black man, see, let me tell y'all something, right? There are plenty of videos, like I said, that's on YouTube. And when I see them interacting with white people, it's always de-escalation tactics. I've seen video where they say, hey man, you want some water? You want this? You want that? Not when it comes to black people. They are so aggressive. And especially the black cops, they are more aggressive than what the white cops are. Well, that's not a true statement. They're about equal. But the black officers tend to do the most. You can't tell me that policing, there's nothing wrong with it. Until your ass is smashed up against the fucking concrete or up against the fucking wall. Some of you people don't have to have the talk with your kids. for interacting with the police? Why is it that black and brown America has to go through a scripted format when dealing with the police? When the police get behind you, put your hands on the steering wheel or stick them out the window. Turn the car off, take the keys out, and just throw them on the ground. Don't reach for your wallet. Talk to them. Yes, sir. No, sir. I'm reaching for my wallet, sir. You can watch so many videos on YouTube of these white people getting pulled over. And they're, what the fuck you put me over for? And all this other shit. Cursing the police out, and they don't do anything. They come up to our vehicles. Oh, I smell weed. I don't even smoke fucking weed. What the fuck you talk about? What the fuck is you smelling? And even if you did smell weed, that gives you no right to search my car because weed is now legal. Now come up with something else. You smell methamphetamines? I have all my teeth. Not all of them. That's not due to meth though. Y'all kill me with this shit, man. Y'all really kill me with this shit. It's always a script that we have to follow when we interact with officers. And it seems like every time, and I'm not defending any black officers, anytime that a black officer gets in trouble, they immediately put it on Front Street, like they did with the 5 black officers that killed Mr. Nichols. They didn't put this white man on Front Street. He was part of it. You can hear him saying, he said some line about harming Mr. Nichols. He was the one that had the taser. Now, I don't have all the facts, but I do know that the cops, the 5 black cops that got arrested immediately, they said one of them just stood by. Didn't do anything, but they stood by. This motherfucker right here did stand by with the taser and did not get arrested or fired or nothing like that until a few months later, until like a while later. Not a few months because it just happened. They protected him. And guess who was the face of the police department? This coon right here. C.J. Davis. Coonery at her finest. Did not immediately put this man on Front Street. Did not terminate him immediately. She handled this jerk with white gloves. And people are now just finding out about this man. When Mr. Nichols' father complained about this man, she did nothing. She did absolutely nothing. That's because, number one, she's an officer. And number two, she doesn't value black lives. Now, this is why black people don't value black lives. I don't give a shit about that slogan, Black Lives Matters and shit and all of that other stuff. That's true for not every black person. It's not true. That's not true for us as a whole, right? And I tell you why. This jackass is a prime example. C.J. Davis. Jason Woodlock. You know the coon that's the sports announcer that said the reason why the Memphis police killed them is due to single mothers raising them. That ain't got shit to do with it. That ain't got a goddamn thing to do with it. Jason Woodlock and C.J. Davis, two of the finest coons that you can ever meet. So that's why I say that Black Lives Matter shit, it does not it does not contain to everybody. Oh, y'all don't hear me though. Some of y'all gonna get mad at me. I don't give a shit. You don't hear me though. It does not contain everybody. You know why black people don't value other black people's lives? It's because we were taught that, and we're still being taught that. We was taught that in high school, elementary school, all the way up to high school, all the way up to your adult life. I give you a prime example. Listen. You go to the movies. This was in the 80s. You go to the movies. You go see a superhero movie. Even to this day. You go see a superhero movie. Let's not talk about Black Adam, because Rock is not really black. Let's not talk about Black Panther. Let's talk about before Black Panther. And even other superhero movies. So when you went to go see superhero movies, who saved the day? Who was the savior of the world? It wasn't a black man. No. When we went to the movies to go see somebody that looked like us, well, you know, Hollywood got this funny joke where they kill black people in the movies, especially horror movies. They'll kill a nigga in the rolling credits. And we systematically look at this. And over time, that gets embedded in our mind as we have no value. Look at how they treat us in the movies. Now look at real life. We don't have no value. We don't value other people. Look at how some of us black people do. Look at some of the black people that's living how on the hog, right? Look at the black people that are successful and doing well. Now I'm talking about in the urban neighborhoods, right? Because I don't expect Jay-Z or Beyonce to give a fuck about you, because they don't. The broad wants your tax money. She don't give a shit about you. Neither does Jay-Z. When we are in our own community, we tend to get no support unless we get to that second step. Right? So if you have a business that you're trying to get off the ground, and you have plenty of folks that's around you, they know that you're trying to get a legitimate business. And I'm not talking about selling weed. I'm talking about doing something a service that would make sense. A service that somebody needs. Grass cutting. Computer repair. Other jobs that people think that are minimal and meaningless. Sometimes we don't get any support from our own people. That's devaluing us You rather go to that other man and deal with them. Now, mind you, come on, black people. Sometimes we do shady shit and we deserve that recognition. You know, we have shady restaurants and we have all this other stuff that's going on, and we make a bad name for ourselves. Right? We tend to do that. And it's not only us, it's white people too that do that. But what we do, and I'm quite sure it's in other races. Not all, but I'm quite sure it's in other races. I'm black. Well, you see how dark I am. So I can only speak of this race, what I know and what I experienced. Some of your black friends not going to support you until you make it. And then, babe, it may be a while before you make it, before you see that profit, before your business start growing. And now you switch from catching Ubers to going outside, getting on that Benz, getting inside that Benz. Then they'll start respecting you. Then they'll start calling you. Then they'll start doing this, that, and the third. But no, it seems like black people, ones that find that secret roadmap to success, they barricade that route and won't let nobody else through. They'll put, rocks and all obstacles, rattlesnakes and alligators in front of that open field of opportunity, so you don't get through, because they feel that it's not enough money in that particular situation to share with everybody else. They don't want that competition. For any service that you offer, there's hundreds of other people that offers that same service. Me, I'm a computer repair person. There's plenty of computer repair people out here. I am a content creator. There's plenty of the content creators out here. I am a music producer. Plenty out there. I'm a videographer. Plenty of people out there. I come up with great ideas for running a business. You understand? What I do with my business. But you know what? People don't like competition. Or they don't like paying the what it's worth, what you are worth. Okay? For instance, I am finally working on the cartoon that I said I was going to work on. And I'm teaching myself how to use this software, right? Pretty simple. So within teaching myself how to use the software, I'm doing cartoon animation, right? So I go and look and see how much people would charge for cartoon animation, right? When you're doing cartoon animation, they charge you by the second. So maybe $50 a second, $75 a second. There is a lot of money to be made when you come to animation, because it takes a long time. If you don't have a software to cut down that time, it's very tedious, and that's why they charge that much, and they should. So I'm getting into not only the video editing and the other stuff that I do, but now also cartoon animation, real live body capturing animation, getting the suit and all that other stuff to capture real movement to put on. Oh damn, I forgot that. I should have got that instead of that damn projector. I have to get that next week. a week after that. We're doing that, right? The same services that I would offer, people would shrug their nose up just because I'm me. But they will go to somebody else and pay more or the same price to deal with them. Now I get it. I am very brash when I have these topics. But I am a personality that's on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and all that other stuff. I am a personality, right? In my real life, when you meet me on the street, I only have 2 rules. One rule is don't touch me, because I just don't like being touched, right? If I don't know you, don't come up and start touching me, because then you will see another side of me. I don't like to be touched. That's just point blank. And don't treat me, or no, the other one is, if we're going to have a verbal back and forth, respect me. That's all I ask you. Don't touch me and respect me. Because you and I can have a verbal back and forth conversation. I'm going to let you say everything that you need to say. I'm not going to interrupt you. But then when I start talking and I get like 5 or 6 sentences in, and then you automatically interrupt me, I'm going to give you a couple of warnings before I just go put my hands out there. Because if I give you that much respect and you don't give it back to me, then there's no more verbal that needs to be. That's when these come out. And again, that's how I was taught. Because myself, I'm included in that situation where don't value black people. Now, black or white, brown, green, dog, cat, fish, alligator, monkey, they can get these. These never discriminate on anybody. These are not racist. He's not racist, neither is he. Right? Don't see no color. So I'm part of that problem too. Because I don't value a black life. Right? I'm quick to say, if you did something to my daughter, that'll be the end of it. That I don't care what color you are. That'll be the end of my freedom on the street. But I can say that still puts me in that category. So now I am part of the problem because that's how I was taught. When you are a young black man growing up in Washington, D.C., and you had to go through the shit that I had to go through, you will understand why I am the way that I am today. With that came common sense, because I'm not doing this show behind bars. So I do have some type of common sense. It's somewhere up in here. I gotta find it. It's stored in a box somewhere. I don't know where the hell it is. It's probably I don't know. It's in the basement somewhere. I gotta go in there and find it. But I do have common sense up here somewhere. Because I know my limits. And again, that's because the way that I was raised. Now, I'm not talking about the way my parents raised me. I'm not putting it on them. I'm just talking about life in general. Because y'all got to understand, when you're raised by your parents, you're also raised by life itself. You are raised by the community that you're involved in. You're raised by the friends and the family members that you socialize with. That's how you're raised. Your parents are not the only people that raised you to be what you are today. That's everybody in your circle that raised you. So with that being said, I mean, it's just a shame that in 2023 that we are having the same problems that we had when your ancestors were forced off that boat. The same fucking problems. A black man has no value in the United States at all. The only value that we have is dance, nigga. Sing, nigga. Rap, nigga. Act, nigga. Dribble, nigga. Finally, throw, nigga. We are entertainment cattle. That's what we are. Entertainment cattle. And when there is no more use for us, we are nothing but old yeller. That's what we are. Because you can't be in the United States of America 400 and plus years and still have to deal with the same bigotry, the fucking racism, and the dealings with the police. And I say 400 plus years because we've been dealing with this shit ever since fucking slavery. You haven't. Your ancestors have. And that has spilled over to the 2000s and 23s. Why is it that black people, we gave so much to this country, yet there are more people that's living in poverty than what they should? We help build the structure of the United States. And look where we are now. It is so sad that we have to sit up here and talk about the same bullshit one after the other. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, now Mr. Nichols, and who's going to be the next? Maybe it'd be me. Maybe it'd be you. Maybe it'd be somebody that you know, somebody that I know. But it's going to be somebody. It's going to be somebody else. Police are not going to stop killing niggas, man. Let's just get that cleared up. No matter how much you want to say this, that, or the third, police are not going to stop killing us. Not at all. There's no solution. There's no town hall meetings. There's nothing that will essentially deflate all of that. Racism is stitched into the fabric of America. It is stained. It's a stain that will never wash out. We have these speeches, these we shall overcome, and I have a dream one day. That shit don't work. It does not work at all. Marches don't work. Protesting don't work. Boycotting don't work. Nothing fucking works. Even if you got rid of the police department, you still have these racist ass Republicans, these go hard Republicans that would do the job of replacing the police. I can't say people, come on, let's do better. Because comforting words doesn't help. I can be empathetic about somebody's lost. I can be just all over the place. But the realization of the fact is that no matter what we say, no matter what we do, the police will never stop killing us. They wear body cameras. They got cameras on their car. Yet they still commit the same heinous acts. And what happens? An investigation. And how long does the investigation take? It takes months to years. While a grieving loved one is sitting up there saying, where the fuck is the justice? There is none. I don't want to hear about this shit about we all just get along in peace and all this other bullshit. All this other shit people want to peddle. It doesn't work. If it worked, we wouldn't have a Breonna Taylor. If the shit worked, we wouldn't have a fucking Freddie Gray. We wouldn't have a fucking George Floyd. We wouldn't have a fucking Mr. Nichols. What don't you get? What are you not fucking seeing, man? It's not working. It's not working. So what are you going to do? Oh man, some of y'all people are so cowards. Cowards, man. Now I'm not advocating to go out there and do violence and none of that shit. Don't put that shit on me. I'm just saying there's nothing that you can do that's going to stop the police from killing your ass. There's nothing that you can do. Nothing. The government don't give a shit about it. Even President Biden. You think President Biden gave a fuck about Mr. Nichols? He wasn't even at the fucking funeral. He had his parents there at the speech thing, but he wasn't there. His son wasn't at the speech. His son was at the fucking funeral. I don't give a fuck what you had to do, Mr. Biden. I don't give a fuck what you had to do. You should have been at that man's funeral. I don't give a shit about your politics, and I don't fuck with Biden anyway. Not to say I fuck with the Grand Wizard. I don't fuck with him anyway. The reason why I don't fuck with Biden is because of what happened to the Asian people. Maybe some of y'all didn't know this shit, and I'm going to just bring it back to you, right? When all that hate crime and shit was against the Asian people, they were so quick to pass a fucking bill of right against hurting Asian people. Which, in a sense, that was an excellent bill because nobody should be harassed or threatened just because of their beliefs. Not even the fucking KKK. Just don't fucking touch me. Don't come and put no cross in front of my yard. You can believe what the fuck you want to believe. Keep that shit over there. Don't bring that shit over here. So you can believe what the fuck you want to believe. But black people have been going through torture ever since I was a lad. And nothing's happened. The George Floyd bill didn't pass, but the Asian bill passed. Get the fuck out of here. For every one video clip that you have of an Asian getting knocked out, I can give you 50 videos of a fucking black man getting stomped the fuck out or killed. And yet, nothing that passed. You know why they passed that bill? Because they value Asians. They value foreign people. For all of this shit, we are all foreign. If you're not Indian, if you're not of Indian descent, then you're foreign. I'm foreign. Even though that I was born in America, I'm still a foreign species. My ancestors are not native to this country. Indian people are. When the last time you seen an Indian person? Unless you went to a fucking casino out in Vegas. I've never seen an Indian person. The only time I've seen an Indian person maybe 3 times. That's fucking what's the YMCA people. I seen an Indian person on Creep Show 2 with the cigar dude that came to life and killed those boys and shit that came inside that shop and murdered that man. And what was the other one? Forget what it was. But that's my recollection of seeing Indian people. Recollection. So, not native to America. So, the uncomfortable conversations. This ain't talked about in the barbershop. This ain't talked about nowhere else other than the game show. I do take that back. My man Roland Martin. I love that show. I love that man. Roland Martin, that's my guy. Because Roland Martin speaks the fucking truth. Black-owned media. I can't financially support you. I can mentally support you. But I fuck with Roland Martin. If anybody knows Roland Martin, man, I don't know if this is too much for his content, but this brother is, Roland Martin is the fucking truth. And if you don't know who Roland Martin is, you need to Google him. Bad man. He speak the truth. Him and D.L. Hughley. If anybody knows D.L. Hughley or Roland Martin, please get them in contact with me. Shout him out. Say, man, that crazy ass dude, Fred White from the game show, he keeps shouting y'all out. You know what I'm saying? D.L. Hughley and Roland Martin. These two cats, vice president and president, they can switch back and forth. I don't care. These cats are the truth. I think that's all the talking points I wanted to make. Just so frustrated, man. I can't say this enough, but there's nothing that we can do. There's nothing that we can say that's going to put us in a space where we're going to be able to have the police to stop killing us. That's never going to happen because they're so comfortable with doing it. They have body cameras. They have car cameras. Yet they still do this shit. And they lie on the police reports. And they don't get punished for it. They get taken off the street, desk duty with pay. So they get a little vacation. And nothing happens to them. They get investigated for wrongdoing. And nothing happens to them. They're out to do it again. The Scorpion Squad that was in Memphis, that C.J. Davis oversaw, with the complaints after complaints about people on that squad harassing, doing the most escalating situations, and yet nothing was done. That's why I call bullshit on that whole Memphis shit. C.J. Davis is a coon, and she hid this man, Princeton. She hid him from the media because he was white, and that's what officers do. They want to put their black officers on Front Street, and they want to shield their white officers. This white officer was part of that killing of Mr. Nichols, but we just heard about him, right? When you could see him on tape and nothing was done to him. Miss Davis did not do anything. And I gotta take this from Charlamagne. She's the donkey of the year. She's the donkey of the rest of my life. What's that Django character? That's her. You want him in the big house? That's it. Who is that? Who's that Django? Let me see, Sam. What was that? What was his character's name? They don't say his name. Yeah. She is that Django dude. That's who she is. Warren. Yeah, that's Warren. Stephon Warren. That's that's Mrs. Warren. You want him in the big house? That's who she is. She Uncle Ruckus, no relations. that's who she is, man. Auntie Ruckus. That's what I'm gonna call her. Auntie Ruckus. CJ Ruckus. CJ Ruckus. Don't trust them new niggas over there. That's her. That's her, man. She get on the mic. Don't trust them new niggas with the chrome and figures. Don't trust them new niggas over there. That's what I can imagine her going to her press conference talking about this shit and like, I got a song. I'm a sing. No, I got a song. I'm a sing it if y'all know the words. Don't trust them new niggas over there. That's who she is, Auntie Ruckus. Auntie Ruckus. Man. Yeah. Oh, good one, Fred. You gonna lay her in the big house? Yeah, man. That's about it, man. I'll hopefully I said everything that I had to say. That was it, man. And I'm just telling you, black people. Oh, it cleared up. Black people. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Oh, you got. Oh, what's up, Dunn? Yeah, you missed a whole lot, brother. I was talking about police and C.J. Davis or C.J. Ruckus, Auntie Ruckus up there. But I've been on here for a while, man. Just watch clips of the thing, man. I get real down and dirty on this joint, man. But that's all my time, man. I gotta go. I got these dogs I gotta take out. Thanks for watching. See you.